only a need for 3 bids, and it was 6. They're looking for some reason to throw 3 of them out. Following the instructions is real easy. If they see a mistake or something, or you didn't follow the instructions, they can throw it out. A lot of times they'll check your math. They'll run the math first and see if the math adds up. If your math is off by any amount, they can throw it out for that. I've seen a client submitted a bid for over $11 million, and they were denied for less than $1 of discrepancy. I've seen a bid submitted, client paid almost $6,000 to have it written, and the guy who wrote it for him forgot to include the bid bond. Very simple, dumb mistake. And the worst part was when they did the debriefing and the purchasing agent told them, you were our first choice, but you made an amateur mistake, forgot to include the bid bond, so we couldn't consider your bid. It was thrown out. And they would have won it. And it was for a nuclear power plant. We're talking billions of dollars. Any other questions?
Could I have you look up just one more solicitation?
Sure. Sure.
Okay, it's N as in Nancy 00421 17 T as in Tom 0031.
Upper drum assembly.
Yeah. Now this one looks like maybe a better example of the sole source.
It's due this Saturday. The small business set aside. Yeah, see this one, they intend on buying it from Simco Communication Systems.
Yep. Okay, so
unless you can show that you can get a better product, or you can get it for cheaper, you have to prove that. You have to submit something showing that you can get it better or cheaper. They're going to award it to these guys.
Do we know the price on this, or what we're up against?
Sometimes they'll tell us, sometimes they don't.
So in this case, we would do what? Contact them, or how do we know?
Right here. All interested parties must submit their capabilities in a quote to Christine by the 19th.
So if you think you've got a better price or something better, you need to submit that before that time.
Correct.
Okay.
I was wondering how we know what we're up against.
Sometimes you don't. Take a look at the documentation and see. Estimated cost, $16,475.
This is the current one? We have to beat that?
That's what they're saying is the estimated cost. So unless you can beat that price, they're going to sole source it.
Okay.
Great, thank you.
Nope, no problem. Any other questions?
Yeah, John, it's Rod here.
Yes.
Past couple of days I've done some research on the internet. I've got some great templates for proposal outlines and write-ups. So we're trudging ahead on that for the Paramaribo embassy contract. I had a question about additional and emergency services. I couldn't find any examples or outlines for that. And I'm kind of in the dark in what to submit for that.
Is there, where did you see it? I need to pull it up and look at it.
That's going to be my my Paramaribo contract, which is going to be, give me just a second. Sorry, I was slacking. Just listening and soaking up the knowledge. It's going to be Hotel Sierra, Hotel, Quebec, Echo, Charlie, 16, Romeo, 00006.
Hey, Roger. Hey, John. Just wanted to let you know I'm on the call, too.
There's my partner, Mike. He's out there.
Yeah.
Hotel, Charlie, Hotel, Quebec, Echo, Charlie.
Yes.
16, Romeo.
006. Yep, that should be it.
All right, f.b.o. doesn't always find opportunities, even though they're active for some reason. The search box doesn't always work right, so I checked the archives. If that doesn't work, we go to Google. Search it. If it doesn't show up anywhere in Google, it's incorrect, because there's no way this is active in any system and it won't show up in Google. Because there's other systems that mine information out of f.b.o. and they would be in those systems as well. Repeat it to me one more time.
That was the old solicitation number. Let me open this document real quick. This is the one that closed down because of proprietary information being released, and they probably changed it. Hotel Sierra Hotel.
Sierra, not Charlie.
Okay.
That's where it is. HSH.
Okay, yeah, HSH. Quebec Echo Charlie 16R00006.
There's 5 zeros.
Oh, 4 zeros.
4 zeros? You got something you could email me? And if for future reference, guys, whenever you got a bid you want to work on, email me the actual number from the document so I can just pull it right out of the email, and then we don't waste 5-10 minutes trying to look for it.
All right, let me log in. You could probably do a keyword search for Paramaribo.
I can try it.
Yeah. Let's see, where's my watch list?
Anybody have a question while we're waiting?
All right, I got a new solicitation number.
Okay.
Apparently this is the right one. So Sierra Alpha I'll wait till you get back to your search screen.
I'm writing it down. Go ahead.
Okay, Sierra Alpha, Quebec, Mike Alpha, 17R0017.
Okay, what was your question on this?
So I've got all the information I need to draft up my technical proposal and my my price proposal. but they also request additional or emergency services. I couldn't find any examples of that on the internet. So I was just kind of up in the air as to what they want for that, because my idea of emergency services is going to be, I'm going to have a Connex there with about 150 cases of MREs, about 250 cases of water that are relocated out every 6 months or so, possibly a satellite communications system if the country gets hit with a natural disaster, and a couple generators and maybe some tents. I mean, operation-wise, I'm thinking operation-wise, if the guards see their post, my supervisors take over on 12-hour shifts, and they're actually guarding the embassy.
Did they ask you to provide emergency and contingency plan with this?
Yes.
Okay. Your emergency and contingency plan covers, any emergencies. So in that case, I would put C, emergency and contingency plan.
All right. I'll take a swag at that and shoot it to you by end of next week, I think. We got till December 17th. This has got to be in.
Okay.
The other issue, I think this is going to be a employment lawyer's call from Paramaribo, but workman's compensation. In the U.S., if you have 50 or less employees, you're not required to have workman's comp. But in Paramaribo, that might not be the question, or that might not be the case.
That's something that you would go to the Q&A, or if you can't find it in the documents, just ask the purchasing agent.
Okay, and something that came up earlier, what is a bid bond, and how does that work?
Some solicitations require you to have a bid bond, and you would go out and contact a bid bond company, and you would pay them for the bid bond, and they're actually bonding the bid. They're verifying and bonding the information in the bid. I don't see bid bonds very often, except for large construction jobs, especially prison systems, nuclear power plants. Not your standard construction.
Okay. All right. With that, you've answered all my questions. I'm going to hand it off to Mike. Go ahead, Mike.
Got it.
Okay. Well, hi, John.
Yes.
I sent you in an email the completed solicitation and price proposal for an ICE contract.
Okay.
That me and Roger are looking at going into on together.
Okay.
And I think it's good, but that's entirely up to you.
So you're just asking me to review the bids, the documents?
Yes, if you could.
Okay. It's not something that I can do in 5 minutes, and we've only got about 15 more minutes in this meeting. So if you want, I can take a look at it after the training and tonight and get back to you tomorrow.
Yeah, that would be perfect.
You got it. Any other questions?
Thank you, John.
No problem. Any other questions? Anybody else have a question? Anybody else have a question or a bid or a proposal they want to work on?
Yeah, John, this is Leon King at A1 Financial Solutions.
Yes, sir.
I wanted to take a look at the FAA service contract, and it's due on the 29th.
Well, I will let you go, John.
Oh. Hello?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, I'd wanted to take a look at the food service contract for the FAA. at Hampton Fields.
Okay.
And hold on, let me see what the number is. Oh, shoot. I sent it the other day. Hold on, let me just get this. When you know it's not coming up. Okay. I don't have the number in front of me. I wasn't expecting. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Okay, it is.
Establish and operate food service facilities at the FFA.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So this is a sources sought. This isn't out for bid yet. This means they're looking to see if there are sources that are interested, if there's vendors that are interested. Response date's November 29th. Total small business set aside. This is wage determination, so you're going to have to pay your guys a minimum dollar amount based on what services they provide.
Uh-huh. So what do I need to do to respond to the sources sought?
To respond to a sources sought, you follow the instructions. So they're saying here, blah, blah, blah. Scope of work tells you what it is they want to buy. So that's the detailed instructions on what they want to buy.
At the end of it, there's got to be a whole bunch of codes and it's just a bunch. I have no idea what those mean.
What you're looking for is the instructions to offer. That tells us what it is that they want us to submit, in which case instructions, conditions, and notices to offers. Electronic offers. The offeror must submit responses to this SR by the following electronic means. They want you to submit optical media device such as a CD-ROM. Must be received by the date and time specified. Electronic offers include applicable as the quantity, blah, 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 blah. Decline to consider electronic reject. We reserve the right to make solely. However, this your request you must submit original hard copy. Send your optical media device as a CD-ROM offered to Federal Aviation Administration. If you choose to send your offer electronically, we will not be responsible for any failure attributed to transmission or receiving the offer. That's it.
I see. Okay. And all of those documents, the 3.2 and all of those are things that I need to submit. False statement.
No, these are all clauses. This is the government covering their butt. So this clause means if you make a false statement in an offer, you can not only lose the contract, but they can fine you if you're lying. If you submit a bid that's unnecessarily elaborate, there's way too much detail. They don't have to read it. Screening information, they have to review and screen your information. So if they call a previous employer to verify something and you get mad that they called a previous employer, that's your fault because they have the right to. Submission of information and documentation offers. This is where they're covering their butts in case they don't get your email. Just like they specified here, they've said it 3 times. If you submit this electronically and they don't get it, it's not their fault, it's your fault. So you can't sue them over stuff like that, you know?
Right.
Awesome.
Okay.
Any other questions?
No.
I need some water.
Now, where would I find how would I I mean, I know how to download it, but does it come with forms or is it just a...
Yeah, give me a bottle when you get in the home. I have one right here, but that's the big one.
I'm sorry, what was your question?
I said, how do I identify, are the documents that to be completed that are required documents in this solicitation, or is it just a proposal, like in a Word document?
This is a detailed description of what they want you to submit right here. There's parts 1, 2, and 3. They're doing a site visit.
That was today.
Got to be registered in SAM.
Yeah.
That's all the FAR provisions. See, you're people who self-certify and they don't do their ORCA online, they have to physically go through and answer all these. They have to provide these. If they don't self-certify, like if they work with us and they have a case manager process them, we process all of this for you. We do this in your SAM. So all you have to do is provide a copy of your reps and certs. We register you in SAM. We do your reps and certs. We do all that for you. But if you're self-certifying, you have to process all this physically on each bid and submit it with the bid.
I see.
Any other questions?
No.
Anybody else have any questions or bid they want to work on? Anyone? Bueller?
Can you explain your services and how they work? How it works?
We assign a case manager to you. Your case manager physically processes you into the SAM system. They get all your codes, your cage code, your MPIN, TPIN, NACs, PSEs, FSEs. They register you with FEMA. They also update and maintain their registrations over the year. Any changes or modifications, etc. If there's a new rule, law, or regulation in your industry, they update your reps and certs. They process all 78 of your reps and certs for you. Reps and certs is some of the stuff that they want you to fill out on here manually that you wouldn't have to fill out if you had it done online. I can show you a sample of those. If you go to SAM, if we processed your reps and certs for you, literally instead of answering 80% of this document, you would just go to sam.gov. You'd pull up your profile, search. I'm going to pull up mine, 5YMD1, and view details. And reps and certs is right here. And these are all the FAR and DFAR provisions. There's 70, I think it's 76 of them now. I can show you. It's not a small document. Some of these sections have over 50 paragraphs of information in them. And the book that tells you how to do these on your own, the instruction manual for reps and certs, Federal Acquisition Regulation Manual is 2,700 pages, which is the instructions to tell you how to do this. The worst part about the reps and certs is if you're self-certifying, you're going to have to do them manually every time you submit a bid, which is a lot of paperwork you're doing for every bid. It doesn't matter if you're only submitting one bid, of course, but if you're submitting multiple bids, that's a huge pain. If you make a mistake in these, and the government thinks you did it on purpose, like you're trying to cheat the system, you sign that you've read each of the FAR and DFAR provisions, you've certified that they're accurate, and you read the entire NACS table. You understand you may be subject to criminal prosecution under Section 1001, Title 18 of the United States Codes and misrepresent any of the above reputation certifications to the government. So not only can you be prosecuted criminally, you can also be fined, and the fines are $10,000 to $100,000 per failure. So the reason why half the small businesses in SAM are our clients is just that fact right there. Right now in SAM, there's 1.2 million for-profit vendors. Over 900,000 of them are inactive. That only leaves 340,000 active for-profit businesses. More than half of those are large. More than half of those are Raytheons and IBMs of the world. They have a team of attorneys that make sure they're compliant. But let's just say, for argument's sake, half are big, half are small. That only leaves about 160,000 active for-profit small businesses that are in SAM right now. In the grand scheme of things, that's nothing, because there's almost 30 million small businesses in the U.S. But out of that 160,000 that are active, that are small business, our organization has processed 80,000 SAM registrations. We're technically responsible for half the small businesses that are active in the federal system right now. And the reason why they pay us is because, just like taxes, you want it done right, you want to get the most money back, you don't want to make a mistake and get fined or serve jail time. It's the same thing. People pay us to do their registrations because they want them done right. They don't want to submit bids and lose contracts. They want to submit bids and win them. And if you're not active or compliant, you're never going to win one. And they don't want to make a mistake and get fined or get in trouble for doing something wrong.
Well, I'm registered, but I don't know. I mean, I did answer those questions for the FAR, but I don't know if they're done right. So, I mean, I guess we need to talk.
So what's the question?
I said we're registered in SAM, but I don't know if we've done it right. I mean, it said successful, but I don't know if we've answered all the questions the way they should be answered. So we'll need to talk.
Yeah. You've got two options here. If you want to, not everybody can afford us. If you can't afford support, definitely don't go hire an attorney, because I've heard all kinds of horror stories about people paying attorneys to do it. Matter of fact, I had a gentleman a couple of years ago called me, spent over $100,000 between the attorney and the guy he hired to submit bids. They spent over $100,000, and they submitted 50 bids, didn't win any of them. Come to find out, as attorney, they were active, but just because you're active doesn't mean you're compliant for what you're trying to do. Out of those 160,000 businesses that are active, not all of them are compliant. And some of those guys will try and bid on a contract and not be compliant for what they're trying to do, and they don't win it, and they don't know why. Keep in mind, SAM is not just a system for contractors. SAM is a system for nonprofits to apply for grants. SAM is a system for federal agencies to receive their funding. So just because it says you're active doesn't mean you're compliant for what you're trying to accomplish.
Okay. All right.
Right?
We'll need to...
If the government does offer a free training program, so there is free training out there. The program's called PTAC, P-T-A-C. They have it at most major universities. It's government funded, so it doesn't cost you anything except your time. You do have to physically drive there and physically take the class, because they don't offer it online. Why? I have no idea. And it's offered at most major universities, so unless you got a major university near you, you're going to have to do some driving to get there and back. That class, if you want to take it, it's 8 to 16 weeks. So that obviously wouldn't help you on this bid that's coming up due here in the next month. But that's another option. If you can't afford to pay a professional to do it, that is another free option. And I always give everybody all their options.
Okay. So is there a range of pricing, or is that offline discussion?
A range of pricing for our services?
Yes, huh?
Yeah, I mean, we've got ranges, but the thing is I can also apply, sometimes I can apply vouchers. Sometimes there's credits or discounts that are available, and I can use that to help you get the price down. Best thing I can do for you, when you got 10, 15 minutes, let me know. Let's do a walkthrough. I'll see what all you qualify for, and then I can let you know what your investment would be to get on board and have me on your team.
Okay.
All right?
Thanks.
No problem. Anybody else got a bid they want to work on, or a question about a bid or proposal, solicitation?
And I have a quick question on the contractor. It says the contractor shall state in all volumes any and all assumptions, deviations, and exceptions. Can you explain
Yes.
the ADE?
Yes, I can. Whenever purchasing agents put stuff out for bid, you're not always dealing with someone who knows exactly what they're buying. There are occasions you're going to run into a purchasing agent. They know everything about what they're buying. For example, when SAM was implemented back in 2012, I got a call from a purchasing agent one day, and she said, "Look, a lot of my vendors have not migrated over to SAM yet," and she said, "I can't pay them until they do." And I was wondering if you could help. I said, "Yeah, we could do it for them, but we charge a fee. They could go take the free class, blah blah blah." She goes, "Look, they don't have 8 to 16 weeks." She goes, "If I don't get these guys migrated over and active soon, like in days, veterans are going to die." And I'm like, "Whoa, okay, what's going on? Explain to me." She buys nothing but blood and plasma. That's it. She doesn't buy anything else. So she knows everything there is to know about blood and plasma. And she said they haven't been able to buy it for weeks because they can't pay their vendors. The vendors won't ship without being paid. She said, "We've done every blood drive there is. We can't take no more blood from these people. They'll start falling out. So if I can't get these vendors migrated over soon, people are going to die." And I said, "Okay, well, just refer them to me. I'll show them how they can do it on their own, or they can pay, blah, blah, blah." So that was a situation where that was a purchasing agent that knew everything she had to know about blood and plasma. A lot of your purchasing agents don't. They're not a master of anything. They're a jack of all trades. Most federal purchasing officers, with the exception of a few, buy thousands of things. So they don't know a whole lot about what they're buying. They put that clause in there that gives you an area. So if you find that they've made a mistake, or they're purchasing the wrong thing, or they've used the wrong verbiage, or something needs to be modified, or you need to add this in order to do that, you have to have this as well. "Oh, well, we didn't know we had to have the bit. We just thought we had to have the drill." Well, what good does the drill do without the bit? So that exceptions, and that gives you an area, that gives you a spot where you can tell them, "Okay, this is wrong," or "You need to do this way," or "Don't forget the bit, otherwise the drill's worthless." That's exactly what that is. All right?
Thank you.
No problem. Any other questions? Anybody else have a question, a bid, solicitation, proposal they want to work on? Anybody else have a question or a bid, proposal, solicitation they want to work on? Anyone? It's almost 5 o'clock. If not, I'm going to go ahead and end the training for today. And I did record it, so anybody wants me to send them a copy, let me know sometime tomorrow, because it takes hours for these things to convert. And then I have to Skype it to you, or you'll have to wait until I upload it to YouTube, because they're too big to email. Any other questions?
No, thank you.
Thanks.
All right. You guys have a good day.
Have a good day. Have a good
When I
day.
get on the
Thank
training
you.
tomorrow, just let me know. All right.
Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. No problem.